Thank you so much for downloading the episode. On the show today, I tell Paula all about my new skin regime and how it's working out. It's not. Also, we talk a little bit about Christmas, and we have your H-Ugly and Awkward Moments of the Week shopping edition. Thank you so much. Shop lipandclip.com. Enjoy the show.
It's another uncensored look at the world around you, from sisters who will say just about anything to anyone at any time. It's the Uggs. Jamie?
He's at Harvard now, and he's going to be a doctor. Shut up.
Paula?
I'm going under the knife when the time is right.
Uncensored as always, it's time for the ugly truth.
Welcome to the Ugly Truth. This is episode 330.
I think it's 331.
No, we just did 330.
Oh, okay.
No, we did 329. This is 330.
Sorry.
It's all right. We are Sister Soup Podcast. God. What a wreck.
Do you want to start over or no?
Nah, it's fine. Everybody, we're real. So, I'm real. So there you go.
Is that your J-Lo song?
What?
Is that your J-Lo song?
Yeah. You know, I heard a rumor about J-Lo, and it makes me disappointed, but I totally believe it.
What?
That her first album, most of the singing was done by somebody else. They Milli Vanilli'd it.
Really?
She does some vocals, but the real good stuff, like that other album, Waiting for Tonight. Oh, that one, she didn't do any of it. Is the rumor.
The one that sounds good?
Yes. That they had basically a studio artist do it, and they paid her not very well, and so she kept coming back going, okay, this album is like internationally blockbuster. It's making millions and millions of dollars, and you guys paid me like 10 grand, so fork it over. And J-Lo obviously knew, and she was pissed because, you know, she probably thought that she could pull it off, and they said, no, we had to retrack a bunch of stuff because you sound like shit. And so they paid her. They paid the studio person money because of all the work she did. Apparently that doesn't happen anymore, but it happened in the beginning. And now it's not like that. My guess is that she's singing songs she can actually carry a tune in and all of that. I like her as an actress. I obviously liked her music because I bought all those albums, but I also thought, wow, she's so talented. When reality is she probably wasn't as talented, and they just dressed it up because she's so gorgeous and talented in other aspects. So,
right. Well, I mean,
I believe it.
She's a really good dancer, which is how she started, I believe.
Yes, she did.
And then
yeah, she's an interesting story.
She started out as a fly dancer on Color Me Bad. No, Color Me Bad.
No.
What is it?
In Living Color.
Oh, In Living Color. That's right.
She was a fly girl. Yes. And she had super short hair.
I remember. She looked weird.
She looked awful. And so she grew out her hair and lost a lot of weight. And she's ridiculously sexy now. She's 50. She's 50. I mean, that's crazy.
There is hope.
Yeah. A lot of work. A lot of, I assume makeup and injections and whatever, tanning or whatever she has to do. But she inherently, without all of that, is still a very pretty girl. I mean, she's just so beautiful. And she's tall. And I hate that. I wish I was tall.
Oh, she's tall?
She's tall. Yeah, she's like 5'7", which for women I think is tall.
I think it is. Well, coming from someone who's 5'3", I think it's tall.
I agree. And there are some days when you come over where I go, are you taller than me? Like, I feel like I'm shrinking.
I just have long legs. It's an illusion.
You do have long legs. So anyway, speaking of, I'll switch over to this. I don't want to resort to any kind of Botox or Restylane until I absolutely have to. I do want them if I get to a point where I need, like if you or Stephanie said, Jamie, you can afford it, you should do it, right?
Okay.
I would probably say, okay, but I'm not quite comfortable making that an option yet. And so I have been doing a lot of research, and I found a skincare line that I'm trying. It's through Drunk Elephant. It's the name of the skincare line.
What?
Yeah, it's a completely cool, natural, it's not heavy chemicals, but they do have like a chemical peel and stuff. but it's more natural. But yeah, the brand is called Drunk Elephant. If you look it up, you'll see it's like, oh, this is legit. It is legit.
What is it made out of? Like elephant jizz or something like that?
Exactly. That's what it is. So I got this skin product, a couple of skin products. I bought this little pack. It's mostly a sample pack because I didn't want to invest in anything that didn't work. So I've never done anything remotely chemical peely in my life because I'm afraid. I mean, we all saw the Sex and the City when Samantha got the chemical peel.
Yes.
Her whole face. So I said, all right. So it said, put this stuff on 20 minutes and then you rinse it off and then you put the special oil moisturizer on afterwards to help repair. All right, cool. So I'm like, all right, I'm excited. So my face is nice and clean and dry, and I like put some on, and you use hardly any. So I take my fingers and I swipe it on my forehead, and immediately it starts to burn.
Oh my God.
Like instantly. And I was like, oh my God. And it was that little baby tingling, like when your hand is asleep and it starts to come back.
Yeah.
And so it was like every single pore was tingling. And I was like, holy shit. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this. So I'm like, you know what? No, I'm going to do it. So I continued and it burned and then it went away. Then the burning stopped. And so 20 minutes later, I rinse it off and everything's good. I put the little oil that they tell you to put on to, kind of calm and soothe. And I said, okay, well, this is it. So we went somewhere. We went to the store or something. And I came back that evening and I'm like, God, I feel like I have a fever or something. Something's not right. I go in the bathroom and my face looks like I have a sunburn.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I did that fucking thing. I was like, oh shit. I did it. And so the next day, luckily, only my nose was red.
Okay.
But,
did they say that would happen?
They said no. No. It just says this is, a way to kill all the dead cells and, kind of it smooths out your face and you can eliminate tiny wrinkles and stuff like that. And I said, all right, cool. So I did it. And now my face was very, very smooth. Very smooth. It felt amazing. Now it's been 2 days and I have the biggest zit on my forehead that I've ever had in my life. I was like, I am growing a horn. FYI, everyone. I just want you to know. And Daryl goes, it was that stupid stuff that you put on your face.
Probably.
And I'm like, yeah, I know. He goes, your skin hated it. And I'm like, all right.
Well, you know we have sensitive skin.
I know we do, which is why I'm always afraid to go to a legitimate dermatologist and say, inject me full of stuff.
But you could have gone to like a professional who does chemical peels with like legit stuff, not elephant foot or whatever that stuff was called.
Drunk Elephant.
Right.
Well, I've used other products from Drunk Elephant and I like them very much. But this, I think, is probably not in my wheelhouse. And I do have to tell you that I did think of that. And I go, if I want to do this, I really need to do it right and go to someone who understands sensitive skin and would probably say, oh, no, honey, you should not have a chemical peel, or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, and I do like getting facials, actually. Not in that way, but the other way. The natural, the norm. God, I just can't. I have such a filthy mind. I can't say anything benign ever. I have had facial treatments from a dermatologist. I've had them do the whole thing, and it feels amazing. It really does feel good. Although she did, of course, she's like, shall I do some extractions? And I said, yeah, sure. And so she gets the metal tool out.
That thing doesn't work.
And it hurts really bad. So that's the only thing I'm not looking forward to. But I can just decline, I suppose. I don't have to say yes.
Yeah.
But I think I definitely think I'm going to go to a dermatologist and have them work on, give me some kind of regimen that doesn't burn like bees when I put it on my face.
Really?
Yeah. I it's just like with anything. You do something, you're like, this isn't right.
Maybe next time do like a test area, like on the back of your hand or something like that.
Right. So if it turns red and basically burns a hole through my skin, I'll know not to put it on my face.
You look like Jesus, then you know.
You're like, she looks like Jesus. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I'm just saying, at some point, Paula, you're going to decide that you need to do something. You'll be like, I could probably just buy some kind of lotion or something. I know you use Avon products that work for you. And I've heard amazing things about Anew, the skin line. Mm-hmm. I used their gold mask and I really liked it, but you have to work fast with that stuff because it dries really fast because there's no water in it.
Yeah.
Which is good, which is actually quite good. The water dilutes everything, so you have to work quickly. But yeah, I do think I'm getting to a point, and I told Daryl, I said, don't you think it's okay if I go? And he's like, yes, by all means, stop burning yourself. I'm like, okay, I'll think about it. So
No, I'm going under the knife when the time is right.
you're just going to get it all done in one fell swoop like Joan Rivers?
I'm just going to get a stretch and
Just
then
do it. Just cut the top off and just pull up.
I'll put my ears in my hair somewhere.
No one cares about your ears, so you might as well, right?
I don't wear earrings, so
Pin them back. No one will know. I actually am not opposed to doing one of those half ones where they do the bottom half where your neck smooths out and you get a nice jawline and everything. I've seen Real Housewives do that, and they look amazing.
But then your eyelids sag.
Well, no, they get the lid lifts and stuff, but they just don't do the full face lift. They do like a partial so that you don't look surprised. You actually, it's a more natural look where they pull everything back on the bottom half of your face, because you can do injections and you can have a lid lift, and that is pretty much all you need. You don't need to pull back your forehead. You can inject it with shit now.
Well, I just want to do whatever's fastest and one fell swoop.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I know. I don't know, man. I worry about the surgery thing.
What do you think's going to happen?
Nothing. I just think it's really
Are you
painful.
afraid you're going to look like you looked at a bomb and then your face blew backwards?
My gums are showing. Hello! Don't I look young? I'm not trying to regain my youth. I just want my skin to look good. I want my skin to be healthy. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have jowls, that's for sure. So on that aspect, I would consider the facelift thing for sure.
I don't want to look old.
You don't want to look old?
No.
Yeah. I just don't want to. I'm all for aging gracefully, but there's no reason to go sprinting toward it. We can retard it a bit. We were talking about something, Daryl and I, in the car. Oh, what?
I was just going to say I spent my first half of my life wasting my looks on nothing. So I want to spend the last half of my life using them for something.
This has come up in my mind more than once, but who knew that eyebrows were going to be so important? I look back at our photos from when we were young in the 80s and 90s, and I'm like, no one gave a crap about eyebrows. No one. And now suddenly there's like stores everywhere where you need to go get them microplaned or threaded or waxed or tinted. It's like super important.
The whole tinting thing, I didn't even get.
Yeah.
But
it's super important now.
Apparently I have bad eyebrows because I don't wax or do something with them. But I'm like, I barely have eyebrows.
Well, that's my thing.
What do you want from me?
Yeah.
But they're just well, you want to shape them. I'm like, shape them?
Yeah.
To what?
I had my brows done for Natalie's wedding a couple of years ago, and I got it done the day before the wedding.
Bad idea.
So stupid. Dumb.
That's just like the time Stephanie got her eyebrows done.
Yeah, she looked like Frankenstein afterwards.
Her eyebrows stuck out, and the whole area was just red and puffy.
That is exact. Paula, I could show you a picture that Daryl and I took at her little Instagram station, and I'm like, brows.
I would have put on one of those little, stick masks that they have.
Do you not recall when we did our selfie? I had a cowboy hat on for a reason. It was awful. Oh my God. It was just awful. So yeah, I learned my lesson on that. Do it the week of, not the day before.
Right.
Don't wait till the last minute on that one. Oh, okay. So speaking of faces, I forgot. I was going to tell you this last week and I forgot. I have so many friends that I connected with on Facebook from high school. And so one of these guys that I'm friends with, he posted a video. And when guys post videos, it's usually super duper unusual. Because guys find things that are funny that most women wouldn't. Usually it's like Tosh 2.0.
Yes.
The stuff that you watch there, it's usually violent. Someone's been injured. A leg goes sprawling in the wrong direction. That kind of stuff.
Or there's poo or something.
They think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And so this guy posted a video. This was obviously at a party, and a guy had an apple balancing on his nose in the cradle between his forehead and his nose, like, that little arch in your face. He had an apple there, and his friend had a samurai sword.
Oh my God.
Now listen, I legit did not know what I was going to see.
You kept watching?
Well, of course, because I thought it was going to be something like, I didn't know what, like it was a collapsible sword. I didn't know. It just seemed like, well, it's obviously not what it looks like it's going to be.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
So the guy swings at the apple, and because he's a man, he got the apple and the nose. And all I saw, because of course the video shows it in slow-mo, so you can really see what happened, he cut the apple in half, as well as he literally cut this guy's nose almost completely off. So you see his nose flap. And blood spurting, and the one girl who's there going, freaking out. And it took everybody else like a nanosecond to realize that he almost cut his friend's nose completely off. And then, of course, they show the picture of him at the ER, so we get to see the damage. You can see his nasal passage completely. It's completely exposed.
He could have, severed his septum or something like that.
Paula, I'm fairly certain he did. It was awful.
It's only cartilage in there. It's not like it's bone.
Our nose is mostly skin. So, if you think about it, the only thing that holds it is, like you said, the septum and the nasal passage at the top. Everything else is skin and cartilage. So, yeah.
Oh my God.
And I was looking at it going, I can't believe that you just showed me this. I can't believe what I'm just looking at. And why did I watch it?
Why did so many people allow that to happen?
There were at least 5 people in that room laughing about it. I couldn't, but men are dumb. Especially when there's been beer. They just, if there's not one married man in the world that would have been allowed to do that. Not one.
Whenever
Not
the
one.
samurai sword came out, someone should have said, okay, wait.
It's time to go home.
This is a bad idea.
Someone's going to be hurt. Why is this out here? I can do it. Oh, God.
Who's got an apple? I thought you were going to tell me there was a bow and arrow, and I'm like, oh, God.
Well, and of all things, an apple, and not even on his head, like on his face. I'm like, what is this? Can you imagine if he had put that in his mouth or something?
Why can't he just put it on the table?
Right?
See if they can. Why on someone?
I don't know. Guys are stupid. Stupid.
Doesn't make sense.
I know. And why did the girl allow it? That's me. The girl would be like, you guys, no, it's time to end. It's time to end this party.
She probably didn't even know the guy.
Probably. She probably was like, I just showed up with my friend. I don't even know what else.
I was just supposed to check him out, but
I was just supposed to drive him
I'm
home.
not interested anymore.
God, yeah. Facial reconstructive surgery 3 years later. Jeez. I'll think about it.
Right.
Jesus. Do not have children. Neither of you. No one. You have way too much trust in people. I know. It was terrible. It really was.
That's gross.
I know. And I couldn't believe, I'm like, why am I watching this? And why did I watch it in slow motion?
Brought up the sword and the apple was on there, I'd be like, click, I can't watch this.
I know. I don't know what I was thinking. Well, I was just thinking, this can't possibly be what it seems to be. I really believed that I was going to see a joke. And that's exactly what it was. I just thought it'd be somebody coming in going, what the hell is going on? Or something. I don't know what I was thinking. I was so naive. Anyway, so it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. We're into almost the second week of December. Have you guys pulled out the tree yet?
No one has said a word.
Well, you know what? Experiment continues. I look forward to the results. It'll be interesting to see. Now, rules, if one of the children requests, will you pull it out?
Yes.
Okay, so you're just waiting for some kind of acknowledgement that it hasn't been done because Mrs. Claus has not decided to engage yet.
Yep. No, not a peep. So
I got to tell you, Paula, I am all on board with this. All on board.
Yeah.
It's amazing when, and it doesn't happen all the time, but when you get to a point where you are clearly being unappreciated, this is what we do. This is what you have to do. So I'm with you.
Yes. Olivia did start her Christmas list, though.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, she was all on Amazon, and it's nothing but Barbies and Barbie clothes.
Oh, she's all in on the Barbie this year, huh?
Yeah, she said she really wants Barbie clothes. So.
Okay. Well, I will keep that in mind.
Yes.
When I'm looking for things to purchase for the children. I found a really cool cookbook. Is Ryan still into cooking? Or you're not? Are we not sure?
I don't know what he's into. He's being a little shit. So
he's just 13. I forgot. They're terrible at this age.
He's into Khalid and
DJ Khaled.
No, not DJ.
Oh, Khalid.
Khaled.
No, Khalid is another one. You're right.
I thought they were the same too until he schooled me.
Oh well,
but
pardon.
Yeah, I know, right? And then he's also.
I'd be like, is this Kwan's influence?
This is he's also into the country band Midland.
Okay.
So we all like them, but
that's interesting. That's a very interesting cross section of music.
Yes. So all
right.
I've just gotten so sick of he is a procrastinator. And so we say, okay, Ryan, it's time for bed. Half an hour later, he's still dicking around in the kitchen doing something. And I'm like, go to bed.
Why is he doing that? Is this his way of pushing the boundaries?
I don't know what he's doing.
Is he testing? It's like this is almost his way of testing to see how much he can get away with. Like, my parents don't give a shit.
I really don't know what it is. Like, I said, did you finish your homework? And he's sitting on the couch with the clicker watching TV. And he's like, no. And I'm like, then go finish it. He's like, okay. And then like 2 minutes goes by, and I'm like, get up off your ass, get your stuff, go in your room, and finish your homework. And then I'm like, no! And I get so mad because I'm sick and tired.
Yes.
Of him just dragging his feet for no reason, and he has 2 Fs right now.
Yeah, that's bad news. This is one of those things where this is where he learns what accountability is. I can remember saying this. I'm like, I do not have to be some kind of guard who's constantly barking at you to do things. You don't lack so much structure that you don't know how to take responsibility for your own damn life. Mm-hmm. I mean, for real. It's like, there's nothing I can say that's going to assist you at school. So get your crap together or pay the consequences. I mean, it doesn't matter for me because guess what? I went to school. I passed all my classes. Mm-hmm. I did my homework. So what's your excuse?
Right.
That's the way I look at it. And it's like, and I'm sure you've said this, the whole house isn't going to be inconvenienced because you don't want to do what you're required to do in life. We're moving on with our life.
Right.
You're stuck.
It'll take him 3 hours to do his homework.
Yeah. And that probably includes all the crap that he hasn't done.
And then I looked at his thing and I'm like, you have an F in science now? And so I'll go, because there's this computer program that you can look at his grades and stuff like that. Yeah. And so I'll look on there and there's 2 assignments and it says missing. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what happened
Where
here?
are these?
And he's like, oh, I just didn't do them.
What is he trying to get to? What is the attitude? What is that?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a stress thing or...
No, that ain't stress. That is him trying to see what will happen.
I really don't know what it is. But I mean, he doesn't have his phone. He doesn't have the PlayStation. He doesn't have his tablet. He has nothing. He has the television.
So it's funny because I remember doing that with the kids going, you literally have no life. How is it that you still, and then you try to reason with them like, look, if you would you turn in your homework solid for 2 weeks and I will give you this. Show me that you can do this for 2 weeks and you can have this. You know what I mean? It's like, regardless of the grades, just show me some consistency. Show me anything. And it'll work for about a minute. And then if they don't think that you're really serious, they'll go back. And it's like, I don't really, it is not my job to ride your ass 24 hours a day. It's exhausting for me. And there's no way you like it. Mm-hmm. That's what I don't understand. It's like, you have no pride. God, it's the age, Paula. It is the age. I can't even begin to tell you.
Yeah. I don't know.
The thing I did, I think I don't know which kid I did it for. This was actually when I put Millie in cheerleading, was 7th grade. I made her do it.
Boys basketball tryouts are coming up in January, so.
Yeah, I mean, I kept her so busy. She had no downtime. None. And then it was like 4 o'clock, homework, dinner, practice, bed. I mean, there was no time. And is it fun for me? No, but I also don't want a kid who can't pass middle school, because I know once they get past it, they're going to be fine in high school. It's just they're battling their body, and it's hard because they're so difficult and they're so unlikable,
Yeah.
I just don't like you right now.
I hate that. And I just, I actually started crying the other day when I was talking to him, because I'm like, well, why are you doing this? You know?
What is your damage?
And I'm just like, how can I help you? Because, all I want to do is help him.
Of course.
And so I was just, I was upset because I feel I just want to make sure he's not depressed or sad or, there's not something going on that I don't know about or whatever it is. And so...
Well, I will say that you guys have you guys are like I am with my kids. You have a very open dialogue with those kids. And I would think that at some point, if there was anything legitimately going on, that you would find out about it soon.
No, I'm sure he would tell his dad or me. So
they're so honest. They're the most honest children. So I would be really surprised.
He sent a candygram to a girl yesterday.
Oh, really?
That's what he told me.
Now we're getting down to it.
I know, right? So there was a $1 one and a $2 one, and he opted for the $2 one.
Oh my God, playa! Only one girl?
Yes.
Okay.
Only one girl. So
interesting. Do we know her name?
Yes, but I forgot it.
That's fine.
It's like Giselle or Giovanna or something like that.
Oh,
something that starts with a G.
Interesting. Well, you know what? It's horrible, but somehow he will get through. I don't know why. I don't know how they survive it. I don't know how we survive it. Middle school is literally feels like a dead end. And I don't want to hear from all the moms and going, oh, my Jimmy was a perfect angel. He's at Harvard now and he's going to be a doctor. Shut up. I don't believe you, first of all. And second of all, good for you. The rest of us are just going to suffer.
Your child's going to be like Sheldon on The Big Bang Theory.
Excellent.
Be a virgin until he's 40.
I wish you well. But for the love of God, most of us suffer in middle school. It's brutal.
True.
And parents suffer too because we've been there. We know how horrible it is.
Actually, it was worse when we were there.
I think it was worse because bullying was completely normal.
Although the bullying that happens these days, kids are freaking ended up in the hospital. Crap.
I did. I read about that terrible incident, and that was completely unchecked. I don't know what happened there.
The kids got suspended for a week. And I'm just like, that's crap.
They actually removed that kid from the school.
Good.
I read that today. There was a bullying incident in one of our towns close by. The kid assaulted him in the bathroom and he hit his head on a metal pole at Sac State, actually. Because they were on a field trip when it happened. And he came home and he ultimately ended up having a brain bleed from it and was in the ICU for 3 days. And when he was released, he's still suffering. He's obviously concussed. And so he's like, I'm not going back to school. And his parents are like, no, you're not. And of course, they have an attorney, which they should. They're like, no, the kid no longer attends this school. He's safe to come back. And, the problem is there a backlash? Is there going to be any kind of retaliation because the kid's not there? Was he a popular kid? I mean, nobody, we won't ever know that information. But he obviously felt safe enough to return. So he's now going back to school again. That is extreme. That's an extreme situation. But back in our day, kids would just fight after school
or in school in the moment. I mean, that's just what would happen. All of a sudden be like, fight.
Yeah. And then some male teacher who
break it up
can't believe he's there. He's like, all right, that's enough. And his little knitted tie is flailing against his plaid short sleeve shirt. And
grab
he's
him,
like, all right.
Grab them both by the white shirts and their necks gets all stretched out.
Yeah, and his little badge is flapping in the wind. He's like, let's go. And then they get escorted off to the principal's office. And the principal's like, I'm eating my salad. Why am I dealing with this today? Who is it? It's Matthew. Again, Matthew. It's like, that's junior high. It used to be that way.
Or at least high school, but...
It's so true. Anyway, really quick. Okay, so it's Christmas, but I was curious. You and I both do this occasionally where we Google to see what the trendy gifts for people are. Mm-hmm. And I legitimately found this on a article of what to get women for Christmas this year. First of all, there is one thing, and I wanted to tell you about it. It's for kids.
Oh, okay.
Jell-O has come out with an edible slime.
That sounds disgusting.
So you can play with it and you can eat it.
No.
And of course, all the comments were like, yes, because everybody wants to have what kids have put their dirty fingers all over and then put it in their mouth. That's literally
in the carpet that has, pubes all over it, and then they put it in their mouth.
And it's like, yes, they're going to play with this slime and now it's going to be brown because their hands are always filthy. And now they're going to put it in their mouth.
What a dumb idea.
Stupid. God. And don't buy it. Just don't buy it. Just make them jigglers and let them eat them and then make slime and just be done with it.
Yeah, just make Jell-O.
What's wrong with that? My kids love
get
Jell-O.
the 99-cent box and...
Yeah, what's wrong? I make Jell-O for the kids when they're sick and they're just like, I love Jell-O so much. I forgot. Because it reminds them of when they were little. Really cute.
That's funny.
Okay, so this was the number one gift option for women who, you don't know who to get them. You can get it on Amazon. So if you want to go through our link and buy it, you can. It's protection spells. Clear negative energy, banish unhealthy influences, embrace your power. If she loves magic and astrology, she'll be obsessed with this new spell book. It focuses on clearing negative energy, protecting your space, and harnessing power. So we're just going to start selling witchcraft books now to people. And that's all.
And gifting them.
And we're going to gift it to them on Christmas. Because why not?
That's the number one gift.
It was the number one gift.
For women.
Yes. For women. Yes. Unusual gift. Yes. It's only $12.
Well.
So you can become a witch for $12. I don't know. I don't want it.
Poor guys. They're going to think that and buy it and give it to their wife. And she's going to be like, what?
What are you trying to tell me? It's like, well, you're a witch, but I want you to be a good witch. So I'm getting you this book.
So a bad witch, would that be a bitch? Is that what you're telling me?
It's a no-win. It is a no-win. Oh, speaking of, did you see that picture I posted? You and I were on the same wavelength. I showed a picture of a guy proposing to a woman in a crowded restaurant in the daytime, by the way, which is very odd. And the couple behind them, the girl is like, oh my God. And the boyfriend is like, oh shit.
Yeah, really? I saw that picture.
That was hilarious.
My comment was gross.
Gross. And I'm like, seriously? I mean, I don't even know what to say about it. I really appreciate Anna Faris's take on proposals and marriage. You kind of agree with her on this. A proposal should not be a surprise. There should be discussion, and there should be like, I would like to present you a ring and an ask of a proposal privately somewhere beautiful. But I want to discuss it with you before I do this. It'll be more of ceremonious. It'll be more symbolic. We're adults. Let's discuss this. Do we want to get married? Something like that. And she's like, and then, we don't need the pomp and circumstance. We don't need $30,000 weddings. It's a union that you're both agreeing to as adults, and this is, of course, someone who's been married twice. Mm-hmm. So she understands and she sees the reality of marriage. And I kind of agree with it. If anything happened and I had to get married again, I would pretty much have that take.
Yeah, I see nothing wrong with it. I mean, my only input would be on the ring. Like, I know it's like unromantic, but I'd really want to pick it out because I'm probably not going to be happy with anything they choose.
I think it's appropriate to go and select a ring together.
It will not be large enough. I know it.
Well, see, that's her whole point is like, why does everything have to be a surprise? This is something that includes me mostly. So can we maybe collaborate and, let me pick out what I would like to wear for the rest of my life, assumingly, and be a part of it. I think that's cool. I mean, really, in what world is it okay for a woman to trust that a man's going to get it right completely when it comes to them?
I've picked out all my wedding rings.
I did too.
I mean, I'm not saying we have to buy it right then. And I'm not even saying I'm going to pick out the exact ring, but I'd like to give some suggestions.
I agree completely.
And I do think that an engagement is a private matter. I don't want the whole world to be watching. That's embarrassing.
in a crowded restaurant in the daytime. I just was shocked.
I'd be like,
I was
why do we
shocked.
need the audience?
He barely had room to kneel. It was so crowded.
And
It
I
was
think
crazy.
the kneeling thing is so silly, but that's just my opinion. He might as well call my father. I mean,
I asked Daryl, because I never asked him before. I'm like, did you call and get permission from my parents? And he's like, I did not. I'm like, all right, I'm good. I was just curious because I had never asked him before. He goes, I would if you want me to. I'm like, no, shut up. No, I was just wondering. Just curious.
actually, that would be funny if I told him he needs to call my father and ask permission. I'd be like, good luck finding him.
Get back to me when you find him, when you track him down. Let me know. Actually, don't let me know.
If you get his number, tell me if he's dead or not. But
Yeah, let me know if he's been buried somewhere in Virginia. I have no idea. Or if that's where he's at. I have no clue. That's funny. Funny, but
yeah,
true. Okay, so yes, the witch book. And then the second one that I found interesting, because everything else was like passport covers, candles, garbage, stuff like that.
God, passport covers, really?
Yeah, like you can go on Etsy and get like custom made passport book covers and candles. And then the big thing this year is monogrammed jewelry. So like letter necklaces and stuff is really popular.
Yeah.
And then this one, I don't know why anybody would give this as a gift. That's what's so weird. I assume they paid to be in the list or something, but it's on mylola.com. And it's a sexual wellness kit.
Okay.
So it comes with a personal, honest, real-life guide to sexual wellness, 5 ultra-thin lubricated condoms,
Okay.
5 all-natural, individually wrapped cleansing wipes designed to maintain a healthy pH balance, 1 bottle of water-based personal lube featuring a no-mess dispenser, 1 convenient pouch for carrying on the go, and 1 keepsake box for at-home storage.
Wait, what do you mean carrying pouch?
A convenient pouch so you could put all of this stuff when you have a booty call.
Oh, okay. I got what
A
you're
little
saying.
pouch for, yeah. And so it's like whether this is your first time or your 100th time, this kit is for you.
Jeez.
And it's like $50.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You can make that bag.
I can go to CVS and make that bag.
Right.
The keepsake box really drove it home for me, though. I'm like, oh, I see. So this is where the girl part comes in, where they want it to be pretty.
Now, how is this a health wellness or like healing?
I don't know. Personal, honest, real life guide to sexual wellness. And I don't know what that means. I don't know what sexual wellness means, because if you're giving somebody only 5 condoms, I don't know. That's not a lot.
I just don't see the wellness, and you don't need the wipes. The vagina's self-cleaning.
Right? I mean, especially if you're wearing a condom, what are you cleaning? Right?
I mean, you're going to take a shower at some point, but I'm just saying that, your pH levels are normal
Yes.
automatically.
I mean, do you think the booklet says always pee after sex? Because that's important,
I would hope most people would know that.
And why isn't there a dental dam? Why only condoms? I'm wondering. That's not necessarily the safest thing. Oral sex, you get STDs that way.
Some of us don't roll that way.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm like, okay, fine. I guess I'm not getting that for you for Christmas, by the way. If I'm going to spend $50, it will not be on a sexual wellness kit.
It would just be completely wasted money.
Yeah, you'd be like, what is this? Why did you give this to me?
I haven't seen these archaic items for years.
Who wears condoms anymore?
Only sailors and hookers.
What are you trying to say? Are you joining the military?
Right.
What is this? Anyway, so yeah, there's that. But on that note, with the shopping and all of that stuff, have you even remotely begun looking at shopping at? Well, I guess if your kids aren't really giving you a whole lot to go on at this point.
Well, I mean, I had Olivia start.
Right.
Brian only wants one thing.
What is it?
He wants an Xbox One.
Oh, okay.
That's all he wants.
Okay.
I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, that's the hard part is,
Yes.
he's doing so bad in school. He's got such a
Right.
terrible attitude, but, here's a $200 console,
Right. It's difficult.
And then he also wants like a new pair of Adidas tennis shoes.
Well, that's not so bad.
No, so it's like $250 worth of presents, though. Or
I would just
present.
be, I would be honest with me, like, I'm really struggling with your requests for gifts when you are not doing anything. It's like really hard for me.
And if we get
Christmas
it for
isn't-
him,
yeah.
he can't play it.
Right. All right. Well, let's do our Ugly and Awkward Moments of the week. This is the shopping edition since we're talking about Christmas. We did get a submission. By the way, I think I need to remind listeners that we need submissions. They're very first of all, I mean luckily we got one, but we are in need of some awkward moments. I know you people are awkward. You talk about it all the time. So send me the story and I will read it. You will be anonymous, but I would really love to hear your stories. Okay, here's the first one. Last week, my dog got a hold of my car keys and the buttons on it stopped working. Then that same weekend, my husband, aunt, and grandma, we all went to do some holiday shopping at the mall. So, of course, we had lots of bags. The parking garage was slammed full and we couldn't find the car. So my aunt was just like, well, press your panic button. And I'm like, it doesn't work, but I'll try. So to my surprise, the key decided to work. And so we can hear my car honking. But then I couldn't get it to turn off.
Oh, no.
Because freaking dog, I assume. So we're trying to shove all our stuff in the trunk of the car, and I'm frantically trying to get my car to stop honking, and some guy passes and stops like, oh my God, they're stealing. She's like, finally, I got the car to stop. Everybody stopped panicking, and it felt like a lifetime, and we just drove out of there as fast as we could. And I'm like,
really?
I'm trying to think. It must have occurred at some point, because whenever I hear a car alarm go off, no matter where we are, I always go, is that us? Like every time. I'm so afraid that it's me. You
don't know what your car alarm sounds like?
I do, but they all sound alike to me at some point, unless they're really weird. Like they sound like a European siren or something. I heard one the other day that sounded like music, and it just wouldn't stop playing.
That's weird.
And I'm like, well, I guess that would attract people versus keeping people away, because they would hear the music and go, what is that? And they would come out, you know?
I'd probably start dancing in the parking lot.
Be like, hey! Yeah. No kidding. Mall shopping at Christmas time is brutal. I don't know why we do
you go to
it.
the mall?
No, the mall that you and I grew up going to, the Sunrise Mall, is just a shell of itself. I mean, even the Sears closed. It's so desolate, and it's sad.
I think the J.C. Penney's probably going to close at some point.
At some point, it's still there, and just as usual, the Penny's there is just there's so many clothes on a rack that they're just like bursting. So it's impossible to look through. I am not a huge fan of JCPenney personally. I've never been, but when the kids were really little, it was a great place to go shopping.
I don't know why I'm obsessed with sweaters.
Yeah.
But I really like their sweaters.
Really? You know
nice.
what? I actually, there was a line that they used to have, and they don't have it anymore, of clothing, and I love that brand, and it was super, like, really well made.
Was it St. John's Bay?
No.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of it, but I bought work clothes, and I would always seek out that brand. And I noticed that year after year, when I would buy clothes, that brand started to shrink down to like just a rack.
Aww.
And I was so bummed. I'm like, oh man, this is such a great brand. And the clothes were really cute and kind of current, because some of their stuff, you know, it's a bit out of date. Oh, jeez. Did you just hit your head on the microphone?
No, I had my hand on it, but I just
okay.
Squirted pee a little bit when I did that.
Well, bless you, and here's a tissue.
I thought it was going to be a small one. The sneeze, not the pee.
I got you. I heard it coming. So, anyway.
Open the floodgates!
Oh, jeez. Oh, my God. Okay, let me read. Oh, first of all, let me just read the second Ugly and Awkward Moment. It's small. I was in Victoria's Secret and found a disgusting lime green negligee. I began stroking my friend's arm, was like, hey, let's wear this to the club. I didn't realize she had gone to look for something else, and I looked up and I was stroking an old lady's arm, and my friend was staring at me from across the store. That's so funny. Oh my God. That's hilarious.
Do you ever do that when you're in the aisle and you like Daryl's standing next to you, and then you're like looking around, and then you turn around and you start talking to him, and it's some other guy like he moved, and I'm like, stop doing that.
I did that the other day at Target, actually. We were buying wrapping paper because we ran out. We don't have any. And finally I said, it's on sale right now. Let's just buy like 3 rolls and just be done with it. Because we replenish like once every 10 years.
Right.
And so there was a girl, clearly an awkward and ugly girl, and she could not figure out what wrapping paper she wanted. And I said, oh, look at these. They have cats on them. That's hilarious. And she goes, oh, which one is that? She goes, do you mind? I'm like, no. So she's doing her thing. She goes, I'm sorry. I'm just bombarding you. I'm like, it's fine. We're just living our best life. It's all good. So we're grabbing things. I turn around and I throw all my wrapping paper in her basket because I thought it was Daryl. But he was in front of me instead. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Anyway, so those are the Ugly and Awkward Moments of the week. Both hilarious. Please continue submitting your stories. We love them. We don't feel alone.
Yes. So, well, I think that's a wrap for today. Hope you have a good rest of your week. We will see you on Sunday. Don't forget to shop our buttons on lipandclip.com and uglytruth.com and our Amazon button.
Yes.
And we will see you on Sunday. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening and sharing the show. See you next time on The Ugly Truth.